Morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning out here, and figured I would show you my new concrete pad. So this is my building right now. I've got a tarp right there, and I'm working on my water well thing. I'm gonna redo all this, but I've got a leak that I've got to fix too. But this is gonna hopefully end up being my new fab shop. So my original plan, this is a 20 by 30 pad, was to continue this shop just like I did over here. So you can see I've got a 20-foot extension over here, and originally I was going to do the same thing over here, so I had a 20 by 30 pad poured. The guy that poured it, I'm not so sure about, but the concrete, when they poured it, seemed to have a lot of water in it. I'm not sure how strong it's going to be, so we'll see how that works out. But this is going to be where my fab shop is. So what I was originally going to do is where these ugly chairs are that I've got to throw away. I'm going to have a door here, most likely, because this will be the tallest part of the roof. I'm going to be coming just above that and coming out from the side of my building there. So got the pad poured, and the last time when I did that extension there off the back, I think I paid about $1,500 for the material. And so I added up enough material to finish that little stuff that I was going to finish over there, and it ended up, I think, $2,500 on their website. So I sent it in. You have to send what you want to them in an email, and when they got back to me, the price had gone up to $5,000 for the same material. So this is going to be put on hold, sort of, for now. But I've got a press brake I need to bring home, and I really don't have room for it in my building. Everything I've got is pretty full up. I was working on some stuff last night. I've got one of those Harbor Freight workbenches that needs to go in my house that I'm going to use for electronics, stuff like that. But I really don't have room for it in here. And I don't think I could even get it in here. But eventually that is going to go out there. But what I was thinking is over here where this pad is, I'm a little concerned about the concrete when you put a 10,000 pound weight on on concrete that you're not sure about. That's a little concerning. But what I thought about doing is, instead of just coming out here and then putting a press brake here and plasma table over there in that corner and stuff like that, what I'm thinking about is pouring more concrete to where, and I've also moved my driveway over that way, or I'm in the process of it. So this used to be right where my driveway went through. So you're literally driving right by the corner of this building. By moving it out this way, this is going to be my new driveway. So you're a pretty good distance away from that building, and you'll be coming through here. This last little section of woods and trees I'm going to take down as well. So I'm going to take this tree down. What's left of this tree, and the driveway will be kind of cut through this area here. So I'll probably take those down as well. But if you look at it, you kind of come in and curve and then curve back around. I want it to be a straight shot. So you can just go straight through here and straight through here. So you'll be coming in on the other side of my driveway instead of right by my building. That's going to give me the ability to maybe even come out this way. So what I'm thinking is more concrete out here that won't be covered by a building, to where I can, you know, back my trailer up, unload it, maybe even make some kind of really heavy gantry to pick up equipment, to where I can then have concrete to roll it into, you know, one of these buildings. But what I was thinking, once I start building stuff, so what I'm going to do temporarily, my press brake is just going to go here. I'm going to basically frame this in out to somewhere in this vicinity, and I'm going to have like a 10 by 10 room here, just to keep this thing out of the weather. I'll probably just run some caulk or something along here to try and keep some of the water out of this area. And then I'm going to take this temporary wall down, so I'll be able to come in here, and this is where my press brake's going to be. I'll be able to get around it, work on it, do everything I need to do for now. And then hopefully prices go down a little bit and I can finish this building off. But what I'm thinking is, say over in maybe this corner right here, either come out this way or come out this way, small pad, 10 by 10, something like that in here. And my plasma table sits right here. So either here or probably here, actually, because what I want to be able to do is put the plasma table here. I don't need a big ceiling height for the plasma table. I mean, it sits, you know, down here somewhere. It's 4 foot high. So what I could do is, you know, I'm going to have maybe 8 foot ceilings over here, come down with a lean-to here, and leave the back, set up a door of some kind to where I can bring my tractor in with material from the rear and load the plasma table if I want to. So I can come in here with the tractor, have it sitting on the forks, and then walk into the building and just pull the material off onto the plasma table. Make it real easy to load and unload if I need to. And so you'd have to have a plasma table here. There's another press brake at the office, the AccuPress, that I'd like to get, that I could put here. And the other press brake, I think I'm going to need higher ceilings for. So it'll probably be somewhere in this vicinity, or probably up against this wall. So I'm going to have the highest ceiling height here, and I really don't have any access back here like I'm going to over here. So I'll have a big door here. I don't want to block that. I want to be able to bring equipment in this way if I want to. So this is probably the most likely position that I could put it, unless I put it out here somewhere. But that would allow me to make the most use of my space. I've been clearing, obviously, for a while, and just adding those small little rooms to the side here would allow this entire pad, for the most part, to be useful for whatever else I needed to be useful for. Probably going to put my shaper in here somewhere, and it could be, again, somewhere where I've got a lower ceiling. And that way, essentially, all I would have in here would be a press brake here, and then I would be able to access a press brake and a plasma table, stuff like that off the sides, and everything else would be open. So I could come in here and work if I wanted to. I want to make the door here big enough to where if I wanted to pull a vehicle in and work on it, I could. Probably won't, but I could. What else? But anyway, that's the plans. so far. So I've got a lot of work to do. I've been tearing this thing apart. I'm not a plumber. But see, you can see a little leak that's dripping from right there, and flex tape don't work. That was a temporary fix to see if I could slow it down, but it's not working very well. And I'm going to try to clean all this up. I've just, building this building, I've just piled stuff everywhere. So I'm probably going to re-pour concrete through here and just kind of incorporate this whole area into my building eventually as well, to where I can, you know, put a workbench or something over this that I can remove if I need to pull the well pipe or something like that. Again, that'll keep that in there if I need it to. But yeah, this is the next step in the evolution of this building. But eventually I'm probably going to come out this way and concrete this whole area if I can. To where, again, if I bring home more equipment or need to take something out, I can use my lift, which is what I've been using here lately. I've unloaded a lathe, a shaper, and I've loaded a lathe and milling machine and a few other things using this lift. So the only problem is when I had them put this door in, this is supposed to be an 8-foot tall door, and then I had these sides, and that's just temporarily framed in. But you've got I think it's 12 foot wide by 10 foot tall. So eventually I need something a little bigger in there, because what I've been doing is bringing all my equipment in through this door. And now that I've got concrete there, that's not really going to be an option. So what I'm thinking is going all the way to the top here. So cut this brace out, brace all this up first, but bring a support across here, brace all that up really good, and give myself more doorway up top. I'll probably have to take this roll-up door out, put it somewhere else, and I may put it over here somewhere. But that would give me a roll-up door in a different place, but then figure out a way to do some other different kind of door over here that's bigger. That's my go-getter. This truck has been awesome. It's got a 454 in it, and I've started storing a lot of my tools and stuff, my rigging stuff, in buckets, so I can label the top. And see, I think that one's got snatch blocks and D-rings in it. That's got lifting straps, and I've got like 5 other buckets full of ratchet binders, chains, things like that. That's actually at work right now, where I'm still in the process of moving some stuff. This thing was blue originally. I'm a terrible painter, but this is something I painted like 5 years ago in the driveway with bugs and dirt and everything else falling in the paint. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but this is actually Rust-Oleum paint. I just wanted something on it that's utility, but I didn't know when I first started painting the hood. I think that was the first thing I painted. This was the second thing I painted, and then everything else I had learned a little bit by that time, and it's got primer under it, except for this stuff here. I've still got to strip this, but the doors all have primer, and I painted those. The fenders have primer, and I painted those. And I'm going to have to take the hood and the cowl off and strip those down and repaint, or reprimer and repaint those. And at some point, I did the same thing here. This is primered on top, but I just kind of sprayed this, and obviously it's not held up very well. And I've got to paint the back and the, I forget what you call that thing, right here, the rocker panel or something like that. But it's way better than it was. It was a rust bucket when I first got it. I mean, it would have had holes rusted through by this time if I hadn't done something. And the interior So this is a dash that I kind of built. I wanted a few things that I didn't have. This started out its life as an automatic, and the automatic died on me, so I put a 5-speed in it. I had a turbo 400, and I wanted an overdrive, which has given this truck a whole new life. I can travel at highway speeds with overdrive, where before you could go about 55, 60, and that's all this thing wanted. But I did all of this with more or less hand tools, hole saws to make these, kind of laid all this stuff out with calipers and things like that. So you can see, some of my cuts with a jigsaw. And I'm debating on redoing this dash. I've upgraded quite a bit since I put this thing in. But one of the things that I always wanted, some of the newer trucks, you've got an inverter. So I actually wired up outlets here. Bought a Harbor Freight inverter. It's mounted up under here. But I wanted a way to power stuff 110. I also wanted more sockets like this. So I've got USB sockets here. I've got that there. I've got more USB here. I wanted air conditioning. Somebody had torn the air conditioning out of this thing. And so I put in a custom AC system. And this is a touchscreen. Runs Android, so I've got GPS and all that kind of stuff on this thing. The one thing I don't like, that's my heater for now. That's kind of temporary. And the aftermarket air conditioning unit is kind of housed back here, and I had to pull all of this really far forward in order to get the air conditioner in there. You probably can't see that. Anyway, that's the AC unit, and it comes up to like right here. And for some reason at the time I didn't think, I've got it kind of set this way. I didn't think about just turning it this way. So I could have put it flat up against the wall quite a bit more and just come out the top for my vents and stuff. So I'm seriously considering doing that. But this thing will pass about anything but a gas station. This is my visor, and again, all of this stuff was made when I had very simple rudimentary tools, so I will probably redo some of this stuff. This is a shelf that I put up here for knickknacks, odds and ends and stuff. But that has been a fantastic little truck. I've done a lot with it. Pulled a lot of weight with this thing. It's got a 454 big block in it. And, not so long ago, I actually traded a buddy of mine for a 3/4 ton pickup. I don't like these fenders. I'm going to take these off. A friend of mine, when I traded him this truck for his 3/4 ton because I thought, well, that'll do everything I need. But it didn't even come close. I used to have an air compressor mounted up here, a generator on the other side, a toolbox up here, a ladder rack on the other side. I had a crane mounted here, and there used to be tail lights here. And that was something that I'm going to fix that, take that out. Probably going to take these out and make me some tail lights that go on my bumper. And this bumper is my air tank. So when I had an air compressor on here, that actually served as the air tank. It was just a piece of 6x6 tubing I put together, 1/4 inch thick. And then I've got a vise over here, and then some arc lights up here. So I've got some electrical issues I need to fix. And now that I've got a bender coming home, I'm probably gonna redo this. So if you notice the spacing here, that overhangs the tire quite a bit. And I just don't like the looks of it. And one of the things that I don't like about it is it's got a basically cutting edge right here. So if you if you put a lot of weight on this thing, what you're doing to the tire, as a matter of fact, you can see it. So when he put the fenders on, he pulled it in that far. This was the original edge of the whatever you call it. So I'm going to cut all this off. right where my finger is where the original fender well came. So he added quite a bit to it, which created a problem. So that's going to go away at some point, and I'm just going to make a bent fender. The ones that I had on here were flat across the top and kind of did that number. So I'm probably going to basically put that back, but put it back nicer now that I've got some, you know, a little bit better equipment to work with. But, you know, I got rid of this truck when I traded him for the 3/4 ton and regretted it. So I ended up back with it. And like I said, it's a great truck. I'm probably going to put another lift on it. And what I'm thinking about doing is boxing this box in, reinforcing it really, really well, and coming onto the top here. So have the lift up here. And the one I had was like one of those little Harbor Freight truck lifts, so you had a little pumpy thing that you could pump it up with. I'm actually going to use something else. So I'm going to use this little hydraulic doodad that I pulled out of a different piece of equipment right here. So this is 12 volts. Got a solenoid operated pump. So it's just your outs right here. This is your tank. Works pretty darn well. So that's going to be what runs that thing. I've also got a PTO. So my transmission can take a power takeoff. And so I may be doing that. But the problem is the exhaust was redone when I got the truck. And it comes down and right by the transmission. And it's dual exhaust, so it's on both sides. So that creates a problem for me because it's right where the PTO is going to come off. That would be my preference if I could use one or the other, because then I could run all kinds of hydraulic stuff on this thing. And I may still do that, but I've got to change the exhaust around and stuff like that. And it's just not worth it right now. So, but, and this is something I got from a friend of mine. This is actually the tool body that I got that hydraulic pump from. But somebody gave me this. Came off of one of their tractors. They beat it up pretty good. But this thing, this bucket is eventually going to go on my tractor. I'm going to cut probably about right here and about right here and kind of shrink it up a little bit. So it's going to fit my tractor a little better. And then I'm going to take my carbon air arc gouging thing, and I'm going to gouge all these welds off and take these off. And then I'm going to make like a quick detach setup for this. And then eventually I'm going to do forks and all kinds of other stuff that are quick detach, but that'll be the first piece of equipment I make that with. So that will really come in handy. I've been wanting a 4-way bucket for a while, and I'm about, you know, a day away from it. I've just got to get on it, work on it. So anyway, there's another update. My hydraulics are messing up on my tractor. So I had to use a ratchet strap to try and pull this together, but my hydraulic fluid's shooting out the top. So I'm gonna have to take that off, take it apart, and fix it. But yeah, there you go. So there's my building. It will eventually be a 62 by 42, I think. But that's when material isn't stupid expensive like it has been. But yeah, here you go. There's the other pad. So beautiful Sunday morning. I'm going to head to church. You guys have a great day.